what you need in the building. How's everybody doing? So this is just a fan. As a fan, I'm just gonna talk about Leo Santa Cruz's father's passing. Yeah, my face is a little bit messed up. You can see my eyes a little bit messed up. Um, I love what Gary Russell Jr. just did. Sending his condolences to Leo's family. A lot of people mistake boxers trying to get something to eat and trying to get paid and trying to make fights happen for some sort of animosity between the boxers. It's just competition, and it's just do understand as much as it's not. Boxing is not just a sport. It's something that is very dangerous, and these guys, professional boxing that is, they go in to hurt each other, but at the same time, there's a brotherhood there, and it was beautiful to see Gary Russell Jr. Sending his condolences to Leo Santa Cruz and his family. And I don't know how much that affects the tank fight. As far as I don't know what's going to happen, but what I can say is to Leo Santa Cruz, me as a fan, if you ever get this video, my condolences to you. I lost my mother last year, and cancer as well, even though that's not what she died of, but basically she had cancer. And my heart goes out to Leo because I know what it feels like and the experience of losing a loved one. So I just want to give a shout out to Leo on that, and his family. And this time, something that I remember Zahir Rahim saying, and something that Gary Russell Jr. also touched on was that, energy. Actually, something, I'm going to put up my song on here as well. Energy is not created or destroyed. Energy transfers, and not to get too spiritual on you guys. All of us are energy in some shape, form. And just as how you use energy in boxing, you'll hear boxers say, I felt the punch. They didn't even see the punch, but they felt it. Meaning, punches being thrown and they're slipping the punches, but it's not that they saw the punches, it's that they felt the punches, meaning the energy coming to them, they felt it. You hear Sugar Ray Leonard talked a lot about this, biorhythms and energy. Okay. And all them top boxers know about this. Okay. What I'm about to talk to you guys about. And if you go and you talk to, for example, Coach Eric Bradley, the fight doctor, he'll tell you about it. That's why they say it's spiritual. See, boxing is a spiritual thing as much as it's a physical thing. But what Gary was saying to Leo was kind of spiritual in the sense that he was saying to him, energy is never destroyed, meaning that the energy of your father is still inside of you, and that transfer of energy has been transferred to you from him. And he went into great detail about family, and he went into great detail about how important our parents are to us in raising us and in imbuing us with a lot of themselves. I even look like my father a bit. I have the genes that make me resemble him. Okay. And so, and I have little aspects of my mother, the mannerisms, the behavior. I see her in myself. And what you have to understand is all of us are going to have to face death at some point in time. Okay. Some of us will face death on our terms, and some of us won't. And the point behind this is that what we do when we are here is really to benefit other people. We pour ourselves out to other people. This video, even with me talking and some of you guys being the recipients listening to what I'm saying, it's an energy. I'm transferring an energy to you. You must be able to feel it. It's spiritual. You get emotional feelings about it, and you either stay or you leave this video. If it's something for you, you stay. If it's something that you don't need, you leave, right? So there's always this energy transfer, and it's just a natural process of life we take for granted. But when somebody who has been supplying us that energy, like a parent or like a sibling, suddenly disappears from the equation, now where do we look for this energy that we had? We call it a relationship, right? This energy we have between each other. So I just wanted to say that, but I'm gonna come back to something else that's you know more important in this whole thing is that Gary sent his condolences in a very deep way, and not just his condolences, but his apology. He apologized for, even though he knew it was just promotion, just the severity that this father was ill and that this ailing man was there. He didn't like the fact that he, even when he was promoted and then saying how he could have touched, Leo's father right here, how he didn't realize the gravity of the situation. And then he also went back, and this is very important. Let me explain to you guys something. You know, the best fighters, this is one of the most important things for all of you guys, aspiring boxers or whoever you be. The most, and we talk about it all the time, the most potent warriors or boxers or fighters are the humblest. No matter what kind of portrayal they give you, they need to have a clean mind and a clean heart to go into war. Um, and again, it's a spiritual thing, more or less, but nonetheless. What I mean by this is a lot of y'all are keyboard warriors, including myself. A lot of y'all are fans of the sport and you really get the wrong perception. It's not about the toughest guy in there. It's about the humblest guy in there. It's about the guy, because see, in this sport, it's an apprenticeship. You grow under people. You ever heard about the big brother, the little brother? The big brother, he teach the little brother the game and aspects of the game. Now, if you a little brother, you can't be a big brother to a big brother. You see what I'm saying? Now, I think a lot of us get tied up and we get confused with the language that boxers use again with each other, which is just competition, and their mentality. And Gary Russell Jr. shows the real Gary Russell, his mentality. All right. And he apologized. That takes immense humility to do. Um, a lot of people get confused with the Floyd Mayweather that everybody sees, known as Money, and the real Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people tell you he's very humble and he's very helpful. He want to help you. He want to accommodate you. He don't even think about himself. He think about you. And you got to understand the difference between competition and being competitive and speaking in a competitive way, and your mentality, your spirituality, your centering, okay, as a person. I heard many boxers talk about this, and they confuse a persona somebody might portray with everybody from who they really are. And of course, people can vocalize certain parts of themselves that usually they keep dormant and they just stay quiet about it when they're dealing with other people, like Floyd does. Floyd starts to amplify his personality and be very outspoken and say things that he's thinking, but things that he probably wouldn't say to other people just because he's thinking it. So I want you to understand the difference between that. So Gary Russell Jr. has been saying a lot of stuff, but the real Gary Russell Jr. is a humble person, is a caring person. But these guys work their asses off. They're very dedicated. They're very hardworking. That's where their confidence comes from when they enter into competition. And I listened to him talk about Leo and himself and how they competed with one another and how they'd been in the amateurs together and all of these things. So I wanted you guys to understand there's history between a lot of these boxers and the pros, but we don't even look at, and that they're sort of like, brothers. It's a brotherhood in there. You know what I'm saying? Rojas says Leo said his father is alive. Just said his father is alive. Praise God. Well, that would be great news. I'll be super happy to hear that. you know, because it's been reported that his father died, passed away. So if his father's still alive, praise God. Praise God. Okay? That'd be great. I mean, so I don't even have to continue this video, which would be good. Shout out to Rohai. What's his name? Roll high. Leo just said his father is alive. So I want you to follow up on that piece if you can give us a little feedback. But in the meantime, I still mean everything I just said there in this video. Everything I just said in this video. Because you got to be humble. You got to learn. The only way you're going to learn is if you're humble. If you're too proud to learn, you don't reach far in the sport. I don't care who you are. Because you got to go through different steps and stages. As they say, there's a process to this thing. You have to trust the process. I'm going to catch you guys later on what you need in the building. And I'm going to find out more about this, but I'm going to leave this video up. And if his father's alive, I'll just do a follow-up video. All right, peoples? Don't forget if you want to, but I'm just reminding you guys, because sometimes you guys watch these videos, you can smash the like button if you want to. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm going to catch you guys later. What you need in the building. Peace.